What scientists found in Michael Jackson's DNA left experts amazed. Michael Jackson remains one of the most recognizable figures in modern history. Decades after his rise to fame, his music, performances, and influence continue to attract attention from fans around the world. Yet, alongside the admiration, there has always been a deep curiosity about the man behind the legend. Questions about his appearance, health, and unique physical characteristics have fueled endless discussions. Over the years, many rumors have emerged claiming that scientists discovered unusual secrets hidden within Michael Jackson's DNA. These stories often spread rapidly across the internet, leaving people wondering whether there is any truth behind them. To understand what experts actually know, it is important to separate scientific facts from speculation. Human DNA contains the biological instructions that determine many physical traits and influence how the body functions. Every individual inherits DNA from both parents, creating a unique genetic profile. Scientists use DNA analysis to study ancestry, inherited conditions, and biological relationships. Because DNA plays such a significant role in human development, people are often fascinated by the possibility that it might explain extraordinary talents or unusual characteristics. In the case of Michael Jackson, some have wondered whether his remarkable musical abilities, distinctive appearance, or medical conditions could be connected to his genetic makeup. One of the most widely discussed aspects of Michael Jackson's life was the visible change in his skin color over time. Throughout his career, many theories emerged to explain these changes. Some people believed they were the result of cosmetic procedures, while others suggested medical causes. Eventually, information provided by medical professionals and individuals close to Jackson indicated that he suffered from vitiligo, a condition that causes the loss of skin pigmentation in patches. Vitiligo is recognized by medical science as an autoimmune disorder, and research has shown that genetics can play a role in increasing a person's susceptibility to developing the condition. This connection led some observers to speculate about whether genetic factors may have contributed to Jackson's experience with the disorder. Scientists studying autoimmune conditions have identified numerous genes that may influence how the immune system functions. These genetic variations do not guarantee that a person will develop a particular condition, but they can increase the likelihood under certain circumstances. If researchers were able to examine a complete genetic profile from an individual affected by vitiligo, they might identify markers associated with immune system regulation. However, no publicly available scientific study has revealed detailed DNA findings specifically related to Michael Jackson. As a result, many claims circulating online remain unsupported by verifiable evidence. Another area of curiosity involves the extraordinary talents displayed by elite performers. Michael Jackson's ability to sing, dance, and perform at an exceptionally high level led some people to wonder whether genetics contributed to his success. Scientists acknowledge that genetics can influence certain physical and cognitive traits. Factors such as coordination, muscle composition, rhythm perception, and even aspects of creativity may be affected to some degree by inherited characteristics. However, experts emphasize that talent is never determined by DNA alone. Training, dedication, environment, and life experiences all play crucial roles in shaping an individual's abilities. Researchers who study human performance often point to the complex interaction between genes and experience. A person may possess genetic traits that provide certain advantages, but those advantages must be developed through years of practice and effort. Michael Jackson began performing at a very young age and spent countless hours refining his craft. His achievements cannot be explained by biology alone. Instead, they represent the result of extraordinary commitment combined with natural potential. This perspective is widely supported by experts who study both genetics and human achievement. Health-related discussions have also contributed to public interest in Michael Jackson's biology. Throughout his life, he faced various medical challenges that attracted media attention. These included issues involving skin pigmentation, chronic pain, and other health concerns. In some cases, people assumed that hidden genetic factors must be responsible. While genetics can influence health outcomes, determining specific causes requires careful scientific investigation. Without access to verified genetic data, experts cannot make reliable conclusions about the precise role DNA may have played in Jackson's medical history. The fascination with celebrity genetics reflects a broader trend in modern society. Advances in genetic science have made it possible to learn more about human biology than ever before. DNA testing services can now provide information about ancestry, inherited traits, and potential health risks. As a result, many people have become interested in the idea that genetic analysis can unlock the secrets behind exceptional individuals. When applied to famous figures, this curiosity often leads to speculation that extends far beyond the available evidence. Scientists caution against assuming that DNA contains simple answers to complex questions. Human genetics is an incredibly complicated field. Most traits result from interactions among many different genes, combined with environmental influences that shape development over time. Even when researchers identify genetic markers associated with particular characteristics, those markers rarely provide complete explanations. Understanding a person's abilities, personality, or health requires a much broader perspective than genetics alone can offer. The story of Michael Jackson demonstrates how easily scientific topics can become mixed with rumor and mythology. Because he was such a unique and influential figure, people naturally seek explanations for the qualities that made him stand out. DNA appears to offer a scientific pathway toward those explanations, but the reality is often more nuanced. Experts rely on evidence, peer-reviewed research, and verified data rather than assumptions. In the absence of publicly confirmed genetic studies, claims about astonishing discoveries in Michael Jackson's DNA should be approached with caution. Despite the lack of verified findings, discussions about genetics and talent continue to generate interest. Researchers are increasingly exploring how inherited traits interact with training and experience. Studies involving musicians, athletes, and artists suggest that certain biological factors may influence performance potential. However, these factors represent only one piece of a much larger puzzle. The achievements of individuals like Michael Jackson cannot be reduced to a collection of genetic markers. Their success reflects a combination of natural ability, relentless effort, creativity, and opportunity. As science advances, future discoveries may provide deeper insights into the relationship between genetics and human achievement. New technologies allow researchers to analyze genetic information with unprecedented precision. These tools may eventually reveal patterns that help explain why some individuals excel in specific fields. Yet even as knowledge grows, experts continue to emphasize that human potential cannot be fully understood through DNA alone. In the end, what leaves experts truly amazed is not the existence of a mysterious genetic secret, but the remarkable complexity of the human body and mind. Michael Jackson's legacy remains extraordinary because of the impact he had on music, culture, and entertainment. Whether discussing his artistry, health, or personal history, scientific understanding must remain grounded in evidence. While rumors about astonishing DNA discoveries continue to circulate, the most reliable conclusion is that no publicly verified scientific finding has revealed a hidden genetic mystery capable of explaining everything about the king of pop. His story serves as a reminder that greatness is shaped by far more than genetics alone, and that the most fascinating questions often require careful investigation rather than sensational assumptions. As interest in Michael Jackson's life continued long after his passing, scientists, medical experts, and researchers frequently found themselves addressing questions that blended biology, health, and public curiosity. Many people believed that somewhere within his genetic makeup there must have been clues capable of explaining the unique combination of characteristics that made him one of the most recognizable entertainers in history. His exceptional sense of rhythm, his remarkable vocal range, his ability to command a stage, and even the physical changes that occurred throughout his life became subjects of endless discussion. While public fascination often focused on dramatic theories, experts approached such questions from a scientific perspective, examining what genetics can and cannot reveal about an individual. Modern genetic research has shown that DNA influences many aspects of human biology. Genes play important roles in determining height, skin characteristics, eye color, metabolism, and countless other traits. Scientists have also identified genetic factors that affect muscle performance, neurological development, and certain cognitive abilities. However, these influences are rarely straightforward. Most human characteristics result from the combined effects of many genes working together rather than a single genetic instruction. Environmental conditions, upbringing, nutrition, education, and life experiences all interact with biology to shape the final outcome. This complexity makes it extremely difficult to attribute extraordinary success or unique personal traits to genetics alone. When researchers discuss exceptional performers, they often point to the interaction between inherited potential and intensive training. Michael Jackson's life provides a powerful example of this relationship. From a very young age, he was immersed in music and performance. He practiced constantly, performed in front of audiences, and developed skills through years of experience. Scientists studying expertise frequently note that mastery in any field requires extensive dedication. Even if an individual possesses certain biological advantages, those advantages must be cultivated through effort and repetition. In this context, many experts view Jackson's achievements as the product of both natural ability and extraordinary commitment. Another area that attracted scientific attention involved the physical demands of his performances. Michael Jackson was known for routines that required exceptional endurance, coordination, balance, and precision. Researchers studying movement and athletic performance recognize that genetics can influence factors such as muscle fiber composition and energy utilization. Some individuals naturally possess characteristics that make certain physical activities easier to perform. However, scientists also emphasize that training can dramatically improve performance regardless of genetic background. Professional dancers and athletes spend years conditioning their bodies to execute complex movements, and Jackson's career reflected a similar level of discipline. Discussions surrounding his health frequently generated speculation about possible genetic influences. Throughout his life, reports emerged regarding various medical conditions and treatments. Among the most widely documented was vitiligo, a disorder that causes the loss of skin pigmentation in patches. Medical research has established that genetic factors can contribute to a person's susceptibility to autoimmune conditions, including vitiligo. Scientists have identified numerous genetic regions associated with immune system regulation, though the condition itself remains complex and influenced by multiple factors. While public discussion often focused on visible changes in Jackson's appearance, medical experts emphasized that vitiligo is a recognized health condition rather than a cosmetic phenomenon. The topic of pigmentation led researchers and medical professionals to explain how genetics affects skin characteristics. Human skin color is influenced by multiple genes that regulate the production and distribution of melanin. Variations in these genes contribute to the diversity of skin tones observed around the world. Conditions affecting pigmentation occur when normal biological processes are disrupted. In cases such as vitiligo, the immune system mistakenly targets pigment-producing cells, leading to the development of lighter patches. Although genetics may increase susceptibility, scientists stress that no single gene determines whether a person will develop the condition. Beyond physical traits, many people wondered whether genetics could help explain Michael Jackson's creativity. Creativity remains one of the most fascinating subjects in modern science. Researchers studying the brain have explored how genetics influences cognitive processes related to imagination, problem-solving, and artistic expression. Some studies suggest that inherited factors may contribute to personality traits associated with creativity, such as openness to experience and curiosity. However, experts consistently caution that artistic genius cannot be traced to a single biological cause. Cultural influences, education, life experiences, and personal motivation all play essential roles in shaping creative achievement. The growing popularity of consumer DNA testing has further fueled public interest in genetics. Millions of people have used genetic testing services to learn about their ancestry and health-related traits. As these technologies became more widely available, many individuals began viewing DNA as a source of answers to personal questions. This trend also encouraged speculation about celebrities, with people wondering what genetic information might reveal about famous individuals. Scientists, however, emphasize that genetic data requires careful interpretation. Even when detailed DNA information is available, conclusions must be based on rigorous analysis rather than assumptions. In the case of Michael Jackson, many claims circulated online suggesting that secret genetic discoveries had been made. Some articles and social media posts implied that scientists uncovered unusual biological features that explained his talents or appearance. Yet when experts examined these claims, they found little evidence supporting them. Reliable scientific conclusions require access to verified genetic material, peer-reviewed research, and transparent methodology. Without these elements, sensational stories remain speculation rather than established fact. Researchers often use examples like this to illustrate the difference between scientific investigation and popular narratives. Scientific research proceeds through observation, testing, analysis, and verification. Hypotheses are evaluated against evidence, and conclusions are revised when new information becomes available. Popular stories, by contrast, sometimes prioritize excitement over accuracy. As a result, myths can spread rapidly, especially when they involve well-known public figures. Experts encourage people to examine sources carefully and distinguish between documented findings and unsupported claims. The fascination surrounding Michael Jackson's biology also reflects a deeper human desire to understand greatness. Throughout history, people have searched for explanations behind extraordinary achievement. Whether discussing artists, athletes, inventors, or leaders, society often seeks hidden factors that separate exceptional individuals from everyone else. Genetics offers one possible avenue for exploration, but scientists repeatedly emphasize that human success is multifaceted. No genetic test can fully explain the life story of an individual whose accomplishments were shaped by countless influences. As genetic science continues advancing, researchers are learning more about how biological traits contribute to human diversity. Large-scale studies involving thousands of participants have revealed that many characteristics are influenced by combinations of hundreds or even thousands of genetic variations. This complexity challenges simplistic explanations and highlights the limitations of focusing on DNA alone. Human beings are the products of both biology and experience, and understanding either one in isolation provides only part of the picture. The study of genetics has nevertheless produced remarkable discoveries. Scientists can now identify inherited disease risks, trace ancestral migrations, and investigate the biological mechanisms underlying numerous conditions. These achievements demonstrate the power of modern genetic research. Yet they also underscore the importance of responsible interpretation. Genetics can provide valuable insights, but it cannot answer every question about personality, talent, or destiny. Recognizing these limits is essential for maintaining scientific accuracy. For experts, the most fascinating aspect of discussions about Michael Jackson's DNA is not the possibility of a hidden secret, but the opportunity to explain how genetics actually works. Public interest creates a platform for educating people about inheritance, health, and biological diversity. By addressing misconceptions and presenting evidence-based information, scientists help foster a more accurate understanding of human biology. This educational role becomes especially important when popular myths threaten to overshadow established scientific knowledge. Ultimately, what continues to amaze experts is the complexity of the human organism itself. Every person carries billions of genetic instructions, yet those instructions interact continuously with environmental influences throughout life. The result is an extraordinary level of individuality that cannot be fully captured by a DNA sequence alone. Michael Jackson's story illustrates this reality. His legacy was shaped by talent, determination, creativity, opportunity, and personal experiences as much as by biology. While genetics undoubtedly played a role in aspects of his development, it cannot fully explain the cultural impact he achieved. As future research expands our understanding of the genome, new discoveries will undoubtedly emerge about the relationship between genetics and human performance. Scientists will continue exploring how biological factors influence health, cognition, and creativity. However, the lessons learned from discussions surrounding Michael Jackson remain relevant. Evidence must always guide conclusions, and extraordinary claims require careful verification. By applying these principles, researchers can continue advancing knowledge while avoiding the pitfalls of speculation. In the end, the enduring fascination with Michael Jackson reflects the broader mystery of human potential. People are naturally curious about what makes certain individuals extraordinary. Genetics offers part of the answer, but only part. The full story involves a complex interplay of biology, environment, culture, and personal effort. That complexity is precisely what leaves experts amazed. Not the discovery of a hidden genetic secret, but the realization that human achievement can never be reduced to a single factor. The deeper scientists explore the human genome, the more they appreciate the intricate connections that shape every life, including the life of one of the most influential performers the world has ever known.